Gold FM is #1 here in Sigatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Lautoka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nel.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about bottled cola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In this bulletin, Fiji to go to the polls on September 17th. Navua schools close as flooding sweeps low-lying areas, and government finalizes new decree for sugar industry. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spade and this is FBC News. Fiji will go to the polls on 17th September. The writ of elections was issued by President Ratuepeli Nailatikau today, confirming September 17th as the date. Edwin Nunn reports Acting Permanent Secretary for Elections Mohammed Sanim has also been confirmed as the new election supervisor.
The Elections Office has just under 6 months to prepare for the general election under the leadership of this man, Mohammed Sanim. He takes up his new job as election supervisor on Monday.
Mr. Sanim will commence his role as the supervisor of elections from the 31st of March, which is next week Monday. He, of course, given the fact that the Electoral Commission is completely independent, as you will see in the electoral decree that we will discuss, has to resign from the judiciary. As you know, he came from the judiciary.
Sanim was appointed after 13 applicants, local and overseas, didn't meet minimum standards. The electoral decree was also released today and paves the way for the polls. Under the one-man, one-vote system, the decree outlines how proportional tallying will be done to determine who will take up seats in the 50-member parliament. On the ballot paper, voters will choose their candidate by a corresponding number randomly assigned to all candidates.
The decree says that all the names will be put in a barrel and then you draw the name. So whoever is the first name will be number 135. Then it goes down sequentially. Can be from any political party, can be an independent person.
There are likely to be 1,200 polling venues, each with more than one polling centre. Polling centres will open at 7:30 a.m. on 17 September and close at 6 p.m. with the people queued to vote at that time.
The polls stay open till 6 p.m. If they start counting, say, by 7 p.m., you should start getting results flowing in a few hours' time thereafter.
There will be no allocations for anyone who doesn't make it into the queue by 6 p.m. Edwin Nund, FBC News.
More than 3,500 new cases of dengue fever have been diagnosed in the past week. There are now 18,969 clinically confirmed cases of dengue 3 in Fiji. Ritika Pratap reports there's still a long way to go to break the epidemic.
Suva continues to be the epicenter of dengue cases with 80% cases. 15% have come from the west and 5% from the north. The Health Ministry estimates the outbreak will peak at 25,000, something last seen in 1975.
Intensiveness of the activity like we're doing now is quite important. What we had last week, or the previous week, was 4,000 clinically confirmed cases. We have 3,000 now. The hope is that this will continue to subside. If it does, then perhaps we've reached the peak already. Who knows? And we're just going down. So we'll have to wait and see what the data is like next week in order for us to make some really good conclusions on this. Probably 24,000 is the peak. We don't want to overshadow that or mask that figure at the moment.
With the government cleanup campaign wrapping up tomorrow, corporate bodies have confirmed they'll carry on.
Future cleanups that is going to take place after that as we hand over the organization to the community stakeholders, the corporate bodies and other organizations that are there. Like I mentioned, it's the fourth cleanup for the government. It's not going to be the final one. Cleanup continues as we continue to try and arrest the current trend of dengue fever in the country.
Elia Lowena says the results of cleanups all over Fiji has been positive.
In terms of the mosquito infestation, the indices are dropping, and these are basically for areas that we had targeted for the cleanup campaigns, which were where the cases were from, and we are pleased that the indices are coming down here.
The cleanup tomorrow will be the last organized by the government. However, people are urged to keep their compounds clean. The ministry is still awaiting results on other suspected dengue deaths. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
18 families are taking shelter at the LDS church in Thalia after the Navua River broke its banks this afternoon. Chanel Sivan reports.
This was the scene when we arrived in the town this afternoon. The Navua hospital has been closed after the river broke its banks and flooded the premises. 4 patients have been transferred to the CWM hospital in Suva. 1 body from the morgue has also been transferred to the Suva morgue. Members of the public seeking medical attention at the Navua hospital are being referred to the temporary setup at the Serua Provincial Council office at Naitata.
I believe within the next few hours, by 5 p.m. I believe, when high tide will be up. That's the time when most of the places will be flooded, and the evacuation centers will be open by then.
This is the entrance to the Navua town, and it has been closed. As you can see behind me, there is about 3 to 4 feet of water. When we arrived here, only 4-wheel drives and trucks were able to get through this road. Business operator like Salesh Bilamoria have been advised to move their stocks to higher ground.
It was about 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the morning when I think the flood, not really a flood, I think the water river level is gone up. I think because of the raining in the mountain area, that's why we get affected every time, you know.
If you are in lower lying areas, move to higher ground with all your animals and all your belongings, because at the moment the Navua river level is at 3.2.
Police is monitoring the situation in the town, and more evacuation centers are expected to be activated tonight. These 50 or so people have already taken shelter at the LDS church in Thalia. Police is also monitoring the Greater Ngaloa area. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama today outlined the government's plan for a sugar industry decree, which he says will revolutionize the sugarcane transport system. Under the new decree, the Fiji Sugar Corporation would take over management of all harvesting and transport. And as Christopher Chand reports, the decree will also provide for the election of 8 councillors to the Sugarcane Growers Council.
The transportation of cane has long been a major problem for sugarcane farmers. But this is about to change. Bainimarama says farmers have complained about the transport system being too expensive, too slow and unreliable.
Under the new decree, all this will change. The Fiji Sugar Corporation will assume management of all harvesting and transport. This will give FSC direct control, greatly improving reliability and efficiency.
FSC will now manage sugarcane lorries to ensure there is a consistent supply to their mills. Bainimarama says there will also be a big push to improve the rail network
and improve access to it so that more of them can take advantage of the rail's lower cost, $6 a ton by rail versus $13 a ton by lorry. The FSC is also looking to discounting fuel for lorry drivers by 8 to 10 cents a litre. This will spell big savings for farmers.
The planned sugar industry decree will not only reform the transport system, but will also see the election of councillors to the Sugarcane Growers Council for the first time since 2009.
Sugar decree will also allow for the election of 8 councillors to the Sugarcane Growers Council, 1 from each mill area district. These councillors will be elected directly by farmers to represent them in the council and work together with FSC.
The announcement by the Prime Minister today will without a doubt be a major boost to the sugarcane industry. It will improve the efficiency of the transportation of cane to our mills and improve the productivity. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, siddhappa uses economic growth in political platform.
Gonga elambasa Mbula FM number 2 na sere.
Ando talita kana borong ng Bula FM, number 2 na series su.
Kau buat itu gerak-geraki, au rewat juga nistima, au undau talita kana borong ng Bula.
Bola bina Fiji, Bula FM number 2 esenga toka.
Bola bina era roga, Bula FM number 2 tikoga.
Bula FM number 2 na sere.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Siddhappa says the economy will be a critical issue in the election campaign. Speaking at the party's Central Constituency First Council AGM, party leader Rotemu Mukepa says they have a huge battle ahead. Vosita Kote Wasawasa reports.
Siddhappa is determined to revive economic growth if they are voted into parliament.
We will harness the best economic brains in our party and from the community to implement a plan to revive growth. The focus will be on providing employment and livelihoods for the many thousands of people without an income.
Rotemu Mukepa says they aim to achieve success from a well-managed and more open economy constructed on sound policies, bolstered by confidence among investors, employers and workers.
Business people can be assured that a siddhappa-led government will honor contracts and the right of legal redress. Additionally, we will review and, where possible, enhance investment incentives without giving away too much in tax concessions.
Rotemu adds they will see to freedom of information and dissemination.
Siddhappa, ladies and gentlemen, will immediately give the people of Fiji all the information they are entitled to about government finances, including the Auditor General's reports, which have been withheld for more than 7 years.
Rotemu says that while taking into account the varying cost structures and profitability of different industries, they will pursue a policy of setting minimum wages of each sector. Vasita Kote Wasawasa, FBC News.
A 60-year-old man charged with smuggling drugs into the country has pleaded not guilty. Gregory Wilcox appeared in the Lautoka High Court this morning. The U.S. national was caught at the Nandi International Airport on February 2nd. He is alleged to have had 3.7 kilograms of methamphetamine in his possession. Stiles will reappear on April 4th when lawyers will discuss agreed facts before the case goes to trial. In another case at the Lautoka High Court, Talat Mahmood has pleaded not guilty to murder. The 35-year-old was charged following the death of his aunt, 53-year-old Hamida, at Nakavu settlement in Nandi on January 27th. Mahmood was seen fleeing the murder scene. He was caught by police 2 days later at Wailolo Beach. He will reappear in court on April 28th. If they are taught about it at an early age, young people will be able to affect climate change. This was the message at the World Meteorological Day celebrations with the theme, Weather and Climate Engaging Youth.
The theme of the event captures the important role young people play in shaping our nation. It's also about realizing the hazards that we live with and timely distribution of information during natural disasters.
Came here to learn more about the weather and why is it important that we know, and that climate change is really important.
I think we should be informed more about the climate and there should be more awareness.
Fiji is seeing an increase in the frequency of natural disasters, such as tropical cyclones, droughts and floods. This affects every Fijian, especially those in the rural areas. For this reason, government had allocated a total of $15 million in the past 7 years to the Department of Meteorology for the installation and upgrade of weather surveillance radars.
The Department of Meteorology will continue to enhance weather, climate and hydrological observation and monitoring networks, enhance predictable capabilities, continuously introduce new but relevant techniques, application, products and services.
World Meteorological Organization encourages young people to learn more about our weather and climate system and to contribute to action on climate change. Saber Tambua, FBC News.
The Attorney General and Minister for Trade Said Qayyum awarded the winners of the Buy Fijian Made Facebook competition today. Participants were supposed to buy any Fijian Made product, snap a selfie with the product, and then post it on the Buy Fijian Made Facebook page. Those with the highest likes were declared the winners.
Fijian Made logo by Fijian must be synonymous with quality. If somebody sees a Fijian made or Fijian crafted logo on a particular product, they must be able to say, this is a good product. Yes, we know it's genuinely made in Fiji, but it's also of good quality. And that's what we're doing.
Since its inception, the Fijian Made Facebook page has registered almost 49,000 likes, making it the most popular local Facebook page. And here's Jamie now with sports.
Good evening. After the break, we get the latest from Hong Kong as kickoff nears for the Fiji side. And Athletics Fiji AGM tomorrow hopes to put an end to administrative feud. Stay with us for the details.
Today FM is awesome in Ba. We love you, Today FM.
Today FM rocks in the story and I love listening to Today FM.
Today FM is #1 in Telew.
Today FM rocks in Lotaka.
Woohoo!
Today FM is the most popular station in the scene.
We love everything about Today FM here at Golden Point Reki.
Everybody in Singapore loves Today FM.
Today FM rocks in Ba.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Welcome back. In about 7 hours from now, the Vodafone Fiji 7 side will play its first pool match at Sokonpo. With the Hong Kong Sevens being the pinnacle of all tournaments, many would think that the outside pressure on coach Ben Ryan to perform would be immense. However, as the players were presented with their jerseys last night, he said he does not worry about external pressures. Ryan, who has a great deal of international experience after working with England, says outside pressure is nothing compared to the pressure he fights within.
And so with all of that that's happened, you know, I sort of have more pressure from within, from me, than I will from anybody else ever. So somebody could, you know, point a gun at my head and said, you better win this weekend, and frankly that was not going to make any difference to me. I drive myself. I think probably most of the other coaches will say the same, that I don't get anything pressure from that. It's from within, and that's often the worst kind, because you can beat yourself up and go to some fairly extraordinary lengths to try to get your job done and burn the candle at both ends, but you wouldn't be doing the job if you didn't want to do it. And I love the challenge, and these weekends are ones that you're always going to remember.
Fiji Sevens forward Siddhappa showed his class at the Tokyo Sevens last weekend, making several crucial plays on the way to title victory. The 36-year-old is no stranger to winning in Hong Kong and will be looking for another victorious outing this weekend. Talenda Dakdaka reports.
The Fiji Sevens side had a scrimmage session with Zimbabwe yesterday to wrap up their preparations for the Hong Kong Sevens. Missing out on selection for the World Cup last year did not dash Stefano Thakau's hopes of donning the white jersey again. Thakau took up a club contract in Sri Lanka but says his mind was always on returning to play for his country.
Yeah, no, I always be available there for the country, as long as they call me up to represent. I know I miss the Hong Kong, but it's not a big issue for me because I love playing rugby. I love representing the country. That's why I'm back for this leg.
The former Fiji skipper says he treasures every opportunity he gets to play in Hong Kong.
It's where the seven starts, and I know every place really like to come and participate in Hong Kong because it's the heart of sevens.
This will be the ultimate test for players like Thakau to prove their worth in the tournament that will be held here at Hong Kong Stadium in Sokonpo. Here in Hong Kong, I'm Talendo Dakdak for FBC Sports.
Pio Tuwai is wary of the challenge that our seventh side will face in the pool stages. Tuwai last played in Hong Kong in 2010 where they lost in the semi-final. The lanky forward had an outstanding tournament in Tokyo last weekend, but he's certain they face an even bigger challenge at Sokonpo.
All the team playing good this week, especially Wales and Sri Lanka. and next team is Kenya. So we have step by step. We should playing in the full game first, then we go into the quarterfinal.
The New Zealand sevens side finished fourth in Tokyo last weekend, one of their poorest performances in recent times. The Gordon Tidgens coach side will be hungry for a win in Hong Kong to reclaim the lead in the RB series, and they will be relying on a veteran to lead the charge.
The Hong Kong Sevens is all about returning to the top of the points table for New Zealand. One of its longest serving players believes they need to set the pace in their opening pool game.
A couple of points behind South Africa now, so just looking to have a good game tomorrow night versus Scotland, and hopefully we can just keep on building up towards the weekend. Hope we can go, I suppose, one better than we did in Tokyo and make the final, hopefully.
Mickelson says he would have wanted to have Tomasi Dama and Lotte Rikambula by his side for the prestigious tournament.
We've been keeping in contact with those two, and it'd be great if we could have them here. It's hard to, you can't buy that sort of experience, and they're great players, and when they get back from their niggles they've got, hopefully we can get them for the last two tournaments so they can bring their skill and their everything they've got to offer.
New Zealand are top seeds in Pool D alongside Samoa, USA and Scotland. Chalendo the Kadak, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, Fiji-born France winger Virimi Vakatawa treasures the opportunity to play against the national sevens side in the Tokyo Sevens. The former Nasinu secondary school student scored a try for his adopted country in the 22-19 loss to Fiji. Vakatawa set out the team's training run yesterday after he injured his ankle. The 21-year-old says it was a humbling experience to play against Fiji.
Yeah, first game against Fiji last week. It's an honor for me to play against my countrymen, and I'm really happy. Even though we lost Fiji in Tokyo, but the boys are happy. We did a great game.
Finally, in sports, Athletics Fiji's annual general meeting in Nadi tomorrow will be crucial. For 3 months now, a rift between executives has posed a threat to Athletics Fiji that could mean its suspension from its international parent body if the split is not resolved at the AGM. Concerned about the fate of athletics in Fiji, the Fiji Sports Commission believes it's in the best interest of all of the feuding executives to attend tomorrow's meeting.
What happened in 2013 is in the past. The new 2014 executive will then look after the athletes, and the funding will start flowing again. IAAF will acknowledge Fiji has sorted out its own problems. The Sports Commission's not going to attend the conference because that's not our job. We only attend a conference if we are invited.
Under the Athletics Fiji Constitution, the AGM serves as the court of appeal for any disputes. If all goes well, the meeting should end the bitter feud and provide a brighter future for the sport. The Athletics Fiji AGM starts at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at the FNU Conference Room in Nadi. That's it from Sports Tonight. Good evening.
The Fiji Crop and Livestock Council officially opened the doors to its new office in Lautoka today. Prime Minister Vorengen Bainimarama was the chief guest at the opening. He said the importance of the agriculture sector cannot be overstated.
The council raises important issues with government on behalf of its members and helps us identify where assistance is needed. The government and the FCLC have already worked closely on a number of issues. For example, the recent assistance to the local pork industry by introducing protection from foreign predatory pricing and dumping.
The FCLC was established in 2010 to encourage greater participation by the private sector, especially in non-sugar sectors of agriculture. It became an official entity in February last year and secured its funding from the European Union. Now to hear what's happening weather-wise. How's it, Jen?
Hi, Jackie. A very exciting weekend up ahead, so I don't think we'll be too bothered about the weather. Lots and lots of rain today, especially for the northern and central divisions. FYI, an estimated 1,800 thunderstorms occur across our planet every day. It was rather chilly today in Suva, and no wonder. We were on 27 degrees Celsius. Nandi was also very cool on 29 degrees. Looking at our Pacific Island neighbors, we've got Avarua Cook Islands on 26 degrees Celsius and Nuku'alofa Tonga on 25 degrees Celsius. What can we expect this weekend? Rain and thunderstorms, of course. Plus, we still have that strong wind warning in force for southwest VT level waters, Kandavu and Vatuera passages, Koro Sea and southern Lao waters. The rough seas continue, and obviously there'll be poor visibility in areas of heavy rain and thunderstorms. A nice shot here of Big Ben. Well, I'm not sure if you can see it clearly, but it's Fiji's version anyway. Thank you, Sylvia Sivan, for another great photo. That's it from me. You have a wonderful evening and stay safe this weekend.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. Our main stories again today. Fiji to go to the polls on September 17th. Nabua's schools close as flooding sweeps low-lying areas. And government finalizes new decree for sugar industry. On to the poll question for this week. We're asking, do you think Theothuai and Setafano the Cow have revitalized the Fiji Sevens team? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's Friday night news for you. I'll be back with the weekend news. Till then, stay safe. Bye for now.
Tale tak na radio Fiji One na muiran no na bonua.
Ando tale tak na borro na radio Fiji One singa toka boleh ni station ni alumatua.
Ando tale tak boleh na borro na radio Fiji One station ni alumatua ilo toka.
Ando tale tak boleh na borro na radio Fiji One mandi na station ni alumatua.
Au tu ko korbo. Ando borro mo leve na station ni alumatua na radio Fiji One.
Ando borro na radio Fiji One na station ni alumatua na mandoi tele.
Na radio Fiji One nandu mo ibitin bonga ni BNN.